Hello, hello, hello. Here I am again. I hope everyone's doing well. Let me open up the game. It floated there in the empty air, the door to the Golden Land. At its base there was nothing except some floor tiling about as thick as a rug, so it was fairly hard to imagine that this was Kinzo's study. By this point all the... Hi Golden Sorcerer, I hope you're doing well. By this point all the game board except the Golden Land had been eaten away, leaving only the door floating in a sea of nothingness. There were two shapes in front of that door. There was Battler and Beato. They may not have been literally covered with wounds, but they definitely seemed to be dead tired. Battler, leaning against the door, seemed to have finally caught his breath. Beato was also sitting against the door, letting her legs dangle gracelessly. Could the battle against that force really be called a battle? It was more like a mere pushing contest on the increasingly small bit of ground that remained. How's it going? I'm doing good, thank you. I hope you're doing well also. They'd wanted to protect at least Kinzo's study no matter what, and the only fruit of their desperate struggle was the thin bit of flooring that they were sitting on now. Those goats fell into the abyss whenever they had nowhere to stand, so now with much of the floor gone, there was no way for them to attack anymore. Battler thought this, his naive hopes were quickly crushed.
ゾロリと取り囲む
増援を集め、今度こそ一度に押しつぶそうという魂胆であろう。
Hello Anya, I hope you're doing well. Stretching across the ocean horizon that surrounded the door at the backs was an encirclement of countless large sailing ships. So not doing well, but it's fine. Oh no, I'm really sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully some Umineko will cheer you up a little bit. As they could clearly see, the decks of those ships were packed with goats, with some of the more foolish and overeager ones spilling over the edges into the emptiness below.
すげえな。俺もお前のゲームで随分とおかしな経験をいろいろしてきたが、海賊船に包囲されるってのは初めての経験だぜ。
Yeah, I like this song.
黄金鏡の境を打ち破る力を持つのだろう。あの大砲もはったりではあるまい。あれでこの扉をぶち抜いて一挙になだれ込もうというに違いあるまい。
Along the sides of each ship were several open gun ports, each with a cannon pointing at the door. If this many ships all around them fired all those at once, there was no point trying to imagine what would happen next. Atler and Beato grimaced and hung their heads.
あの大砲を前に黄金鏡の境はどの程度持ちこたえる
Thank you, Benny, you're so sweet. Oh yeah, of course.
わからぬ。ただ、あれだけの数を揃えているのに、まだ援軍を待つということは、おそらくそう。
確かに降伏勧告もしないで攻撃の手を休める理由はそれしかか。
奴らが与えるこの時間が
劣勢な側にとって時間はいつだって味方さ。何かの奇跡を期待できるからな。
あるいはさらなる絶望を知ることにもなろうか。
At that moment, something small and hard hit Battler in the forehead.
いってなんだこりゃ。コンペイト？
私よ。分かったわよ。ベルンたちの居場所が。
The candy was Lambda Delta's transformed body. She was the only one of their allies capable of crossing the sea of fragments.
おお、さすがはダイラムダデルタ卿。
ここじゃ奴らに姿を見られるわ。中で話をしましょう。一筋縄じゃいかないことになってるわ。
分かった。誰かいるか。
Oh god, terrifying. When Battler knocked on the door, it opened, and Shannon Cannon came into view.
はい、お呼びですか。
すまぬが見張りを頼む。お任せを。
奴らが攻撃を開始したらすぐに黄金鏡に逃げ込め。扉を閉めなくていい。
しかしそれでは。
奴らは扉なんか無視してここで仁王立ちしてたって、もう何も防ぐことはできやしない。
わかりました。
ここは僕たちに任せて中で対策を。うん、しばらく頼むぞ。
Battler and Beata traded places with Shannon and Cannon and returned to the Golden Land. A gentle rain poured down over the Golden Land's rose garden. The weather here reflected the hearts of those inside it. The quietly falling raindrops spoke for the pain felt by those who could do nothing but hide here, waiting for the enemy's final assault. When they returned to the arbor, that piece of confito flew out of Battler's pocket, jumped onto the table, and returned to its original form.
久々よね、こんなスリル。まさか魔女にもなってこんなハラハラした目に遭うなんて夢にも思わなかったわ。
それで
Let's get down to
エンジ
business
やベールンカステルたちは
to
一体どこに。
defeat the Huns.
図書の都よ。
聞いたことがあります。海を渡る偉大なる魔女たちが集めたさまざまなかけらを書物に記し保管した地があると。
尊厳なる感激と戯曲と傍観の魔女により厳選されし、名誉は
大アウローラ教は図書の都の主だ。なるほど、妥当な場所であるな。しかしさすがはラムダデルタ教ね。無数に想定された隠れ家からこんなにも早く居場所を突き止められるなんて。
それがね、簡単に分かっちゃったわ。わかるも
Yeah,
何
there's so many
も
new
向こう
songs
で
in this
大々的
episode.
に
This
宣
one
伝
has
を
a
してい
vocal
るわ。
version that I love so much. Oh, nice.
無限の魔女大ベアトリーチェ教の猫箱の秘密大公開パーティーってね。
なるほどな。奴らがまだ攻めてこぬ理由は援軍待ちではなくパーティーの指揮。
そのパーティーとやらでエンジの鍵を使って一なる真実の書を公開するということなのか。
そういうことね。アウローラは久しぶりのイベントなんで各界から賓客を集めて大パーティーを催してるわ。一なる真実の書はそのパーティーの最後の目玉になるでしょうね。
エンジと鍵を取り戻すチャンスはまだあるってことか。
時間的猶予という意味ではね。ただとてもシンプルかつ当然な問題が。
なんだ。
図書の都は元老院の管理下にある聖域よ。神聖な結界が張られている。元老院の魔女以外は踏み入ることさえできない。
パーティーの招待客には
ええ、いるわ。そういう連中には特別に聖域に踏み入ることを許可する招待状が与えられてるみたい。
招待状。
これは面白くなってきましたな。
と私も思ったわよ。ところがこの招待状遅刻厳禁でパーティー開始時刻までに入場受付をしてないと。そしてお気の毒なことについさっきパーティーは始まっちゃったわ。
つまり遅刻した来客の誰かから招待状を奪うという手は。
そういうことで、どうすんのこれから。誰かポップコーンもらえる？今度キャンディーフレーバーがいいわ。
門外漢で恐縮だがもはやお手上げに思えるね。
私たちはもうおしまいなのです。
ここで座ったまま奴らが襲ってくるまで待ってるしかないの。何かできることがあるはずだわ。
そうね、私たちにできることは一つだけ。
それは
Shut up, George. No one asked you.
1分1秒でも悪あがきして奇跡を待つことや。
奇跡。
つまりこいつは
The Alamo? What?
私たちに幸福はない。できるのは1分1秒でも持ちこたえて。
ウリュウ。エンジェが何かの理由で気が変わってここへ戻ってくる可能性が何百万分の1の確率であるかもしれない。
そのような極小の確率の末ならば、それは確かに奇跡。
私たちはエンジェさんの帰りを待つためにここにいるんです。
ええ、エンジェさんの帰る場所は私たちのいるここだけなんです。だから私たちは最後の1秒までここを守って彼女の帰りを待たなければならないんです。
留守をお預かりすることこそ使用人の役目。こうとなればこの号だ。もう覚悟は決まっております。
Are you prepared for the bleach I'm gonna pour down your throat? Alright, I'll add to the counter.
マトラ様、我ら一同すでに覚悟は決まっております。
シエスタ姉妹近衛隊一同、盟約に基づき最後まで大ベアトリーチェ教とご一緒するであります。
45、問題ありません。最後まで戦います。ようやく似合いの死に場所を見つけたに。410、問題ないに。
Yeah.
煉獄の7姉妹、最後までベアトリーチェ様とバタラ様のおそばに。
Six younger sisters also showed their resolve in their eyes.
アイゼルメイ・ユングフラウ、最後までお供します。
元 SSVD もいいぜ。付き合っ
そしてあなたもどうか私たちに力を。
私？やーよ、偵察してきてあげたじゃない。それで私は十分協力をしてあげたつもりだけど。
あなたはエンジェちゃんが都市の都の中にいるのはどうやってか。
もちろんこの目でよ。私、自分の目で見たものしか信用しないたちなの。
ということはあなたは聖域である都市の都に入る資格を。
そうと大ラムダデルタ教は元老院の大魔女であらせられるぞ。
ラムダデルタ。
何よ、あんたたち。
Oh, that's such a cute sprite.
まさか私にもう一働きしろって言ってんじゃないわよね。
これは思わぬ出番だね。
都書の都に入ることができるのはラムダデルタ教ただ一人。
ということはこれはまさにラムダデルタ教のための見せ場ということじゃない。
バカ言ってんじゃないわよ。あんたたち正気？私がたった一人であそこへもう一度侵入してエンジェを連れ戻してこいっての？
The several dozen people surrounding Lambda nodded in unison.
バカも休みを言いなさいよね。エンジェを助け出すってことは大アウローラのパーティーをぶっ壊せってことよ。私に世界を敵に回せってこと？私に見返りはないわ。あるわけない。あんたたちに用意できるどんな見返りだって大アウローラとその愉快な友人の化け物たちを敵に回すことと割が合うわけなんて。
大アウローラと大ベルンカステルの目論見を台無しにしエンジェちゃんを連れ戻しみんなで和解するというハッピーエンドが見られる。
どうであるかラムダデルタ教。これほどのスリル、それほどの大事を成し遂げればそなたも病を1000年は忘れることができるのではないか。
頼むラムダデルタ、俺たちに力を貸してくれ。
Please, please, we're begging you. Help us save Angie. Everyone surrounded Lambda, asking for help.
どうか頼むラムダデルタ教、そなたしかおらぬのだ。
力を貸してくれ。俺がお前に最高の物語を見せてやる。そいつを最前列で見せてやるから。だから力を貸してくれ。
うるさい、黙れっつってんです。
Lambda leapt to her feet and crushed the cup of popcorn in her hand. Sweet candy-flavored popcorn flew all over the place, hitting everyone in the face. It might have looked funny, however no one laughed. Lambda's face was filled with a rage that none of them had seen before.
勘違いしないでくれる？私は観客よ、観客！ペアトに招かれてそのゲームを見物に来ただけの客人よ。その私がなんであんたたちのために命までかけなきゃなんないわけ？ヘンジが帰ってきたらハッピーエンド？バカじゃない？怒り狂ったベルンとその軍勢が一気になだれ込んできてブチッと潰されておしまいじゃない。私がここにいる理由はたったそれは面白い物語が見られるとそこのリオンに単価を切られたから。そして私はもうじき最高に面白い物語が見られることを信じて疑わないわ。それは排水の陣でベルンの軍勢と戦って一人また一人と散っていく悲しい悲しい物語。全員に散り際の見せ場がありそうだもんね。それを間近でもうじき感激できるのよ。あんたたちはもうじきみんな死ぬの。でも私は違う。私は観客よ、客。あんたも一緒に死んでくれなんて言われる筋合いはこれっぽっちもないんだから。
No one was able to say a word. In the still silence where there was no sound except that of the rain, even Lambda finally hung her head in dismay.
ごめんね。私ってば最高にかっこ悪いわ。でもね、私はあんたたちと違って物語の登場人物じゃないのよ。死ねないのよ。あんたたちが深夜にクライマックスはこれからだとか意気込んでるけど、私は明日月曜で学校で日直で朝は起床が早いわけよ。住んでる世界が違うの。だからさ、私をさ。
Lambda staggered as if dizzy, then plopped down into a chair. Then she became expressionless like a doll, just staring at a single point of space silently. Battler softly apologized. However, Lambda remained expressionless.
俺たちにできることも尽くさないのに、あんたにだけ何かを失うように強いるのはフェアじゃない。
You are in my top 3, Lambda.
俺たちはここで戦い、エンジェが一なる真実よりもそれも尽くさないのに、あんたに俺たちと一緒に命を捨ててくれなんて頼めるわけもない。
Battler rose from his seat and spun around.
バトラー、
見張りの二人と交代してくれ。俺が奴らと戦う時のそれが今すぐ俺がラムダデルタに見せられる。
わらわも行くぞ。お師匠様はラムダデルタ教に新しいポップコーンであと演者は必ず帰る。信じねば実る奇跡も実らぬというもの。くじを買わねば当たることもないのだからな。
Beata also stood up and followed Battler.
みんな戦いに備え何かの準備をしよう。
賛成だぜ。ここでうつむいてたってバカバカしいぜ。
そうだな、最後くらい
エンジェちゃんの帰る場所を守らなくちゃ。
私たちも作戦会議が必要です。
そうだな、家具に武具に悪魔に異端審問官だ。このちぐはぐ連合軍でうまく連携を取らなきゃな。
さあ妹たち、休憩の時間は終わりよ。シエスタ隊起立。
The humans and illusions all rose to their feet and left the arbor. Afterwards, only Lambda remained, staring blankly at a point in empty space.
いい香りの紅茶ね。
おや、 どうしエヴァもいかが
I
です
thought it sounded like
カ
Ava.
ップはないのでロートになりますが
Gold Butterfly drifted onto the balcony and turned into Ava.
ベルーンカステルの様子はどう？一なる真実の書の封印を解くのにまだだいぶかかるのかしら。
それを伝えに来たのよ。封印が解けたそうよ。
おめでとうございます。いよいよですね。あなたの人生のピリオド。
鍵を持ってベルンカステル教のところへお行きなさいな。使い魔の猫が案内してくれるわ。
Two emerald sparkles flew in. They were green, glinting eyes of a black cat. The cat flicked its tail elegantly with the dignity of a high-class attendant.
わかったわ。じゃあ、ちょっと行ってくるわ。
Angie rose from her seat. She did it casually as though she was just heading out for a short trip. However, her lips would probably never touch her half-finished cup of tea again.
短い間でしたが、楽しかったです。同族嫌悪って感情を知ることができる貴重な時間でした。私こそ次に会えたらどうやったらこんなにまずく紅茶が入れられるのか、ぜひ秘密を。
嬉しい？私が12年間ずっと隠して意地悪してきた秘密がいよいよ。
嬉しいわ。ああ、今ならエリカの気持ちがわかるわ。あんたが死ぬまで守った秘密を暴けてあんたに一種報いてやったって気持ちになるもん。
それは気持ちのいいこと？
多少はマシって程度だわ。
Oh, I love these bitches being crabby with each other. Hi, Strange. I hope you're doing well. Angie nodded towards the black cat to let it know she was ready. The cat nodded back in a refined manner, indicated that it wanted Angie to follow, and leapt from the balcony. Without turning back, Angie followed it, jumping into the air as if swimming. Ava watched her go. An expression of ridicule and scorn filled across her face.
いってらっしゃい、エンジェ。それもあんたの選んだ道よ。あんたはもう18歳なのよ。自分の人生は自分で選択しなさい。
過保護なおばさまだことで。
私は式典の様子を見に行くけれど、あなたは？
もうじき出陣の時間ですので船に向かいます。手土産にはベアとの屍を、腹渡はパーティーに。私は皮をもらえることになってますので剥製を作りましょう。
これで謎のベールに包まれた六軒島物語もおしまいね。
するとその駒であるあんたもおしまいになりますね。
私はただの駒よ。駒の役目はゲームが終わるまで自分の役目に忠実であることだわ。ゲームが終わった後のことを考えるのは駒の役。
そうですね。それは私も同じです。お互い今のこのひとときを楽しみましょう。では私もこれで失礼します。
じゃあね、お仕事頑張ってね。
After exchanging elegant bows, the two witches vanished at the same time. Nothing remained except some half-finished teacups and the aroma of the tea itself. One after another, luxury cars stopped in front of a high-class hotel in the city. Guests began to step out of them.
いやあ、大月教授。おお、これは前回のコンベンション以来ですな。
A lot of guests gathered here were very rich and cultured. A single hobby tied all of them together. They were witch hunters. I'm gonna itch, hold on. Like-minded people who enjoyed exploring various interpretations of the Rokinjima mystery.
しかし本当でしょうか。後ろ見やエヴァの日記帳が実在したなんて。ええ、私も噂には聞いておりました。 後宮エヴァが死の直前に隠したとささやかれる秘密の日記。彼女は六軒島の真実をそれに密かに記していたと噂されます。まるで王様の耳はロバの耳です。人は自分しか知り得ない秘密を穴を掘ってでも口にせずにはいられない。悲しい。何でも聞いた話ではドバイのコレクターが1000万ドルで買収を持ちかけてるとか。それはすごい。それだけロッキン島ミステリーが魅力的なことの証左ですな。
Conversations like this were breaking out passionately all over the place. Furthermore, it wasn't just the guests who were allowed to enter. The press was also there in force. The Rokenjima mystery was such a large movement that it became a social phenomenon at one point. Though it had died down slightly in recent years, it was still a topic fiercely debated across the internet. It's hardly any surprise that the discovery and imminent release of Ushiromi Eva's diary, which contained the truth of that mystery, had caused an uproar. And on top of all that, the mysterious forger Ito Ikukuro was to appear publicly for the first time. In fact, it seemed that Ito Ikukuro and Hachijo Toya, the up-and-coming mystery novelist, were the same person. Of course, this meant that Hachijo Toya would also be appearing in public for the first time. Though she was thought to be a male author, the fact that she was actually a mysterious woman author alone was enough to cause a stir. For the diary unveiling party, a press conference was held in one of the rooms of the hotel.
いかにも私が八条東也です。
先生は過去のサイン会においても影武者を立ててまで姿を現すこと、それが今回こうして姿を現されたのはどういうご心境の変化からでしょ
う。六軒島の魔女伝説は無限の物語を生み出してきました。それが終焉することの意味を考えれば、物書きの端くれとしては姿を現す形で敬意を表するべきであると感じたからです。
偽書作家としての先生はネット上で真実に至ったと公言されておりました。それはつまりもう先生は日記の中身をご覧に。
そしてそれはもうじき皆さんにも公開されることとなるでしょう。
こう言ってはなんですが、日記の中に記された内容が真実であるとの保証はあるのでしょうか。個人の私的記録に過ぎないといううがった見方もあるようですが。
いいえ、私が保証します。日記には真実が記されています。
Ooh, a stir passed through the crowd and the room was suddenly filled with camera flashes.
これにて八条先生の会見を終了いたします。報道各社の皆さん、本日は誠にありがとうございます。
How'd she use the red? I don't know.
引き続きまして、後宮エヴァ氏の日記の撮影時間に移りたいと思います。
A hotel worker pushed forward a cart covered by a veil. Then, after looking to Hachijo for approval, he removed the veil. There lay her Ava's diary. The book of the single truth sat there, waiting for its seal to be released. Hachijo held it to her chest and laughed enigmatically. Camera flashes came from everywhere, making the book of its single truth glint.
以上で会見を終了させて、それでは皆様、会場の方へ移動をお願いいたします。
Still holding the diary, Hachijo left the press conference room, escorted by men from the hotel, till she went through a door that said authorized personnel only. The journalists continued to surround her and ask questions, hoping to gather just one more comment. When the door slammed shut, the world twisted. The hotel employees became black cats wearing capes. Hachijo turned into Featherine.
すごい熱気じゃない。楽しめた？疲れる。だが悪くない。それにしても、この日記は重いな。
Featherine tossed the diary and Berncastle caught it.
私は少し控え室で休ませてもらおう。出番なんてすぐよ。休んでる暇なんてないでしょ。では休むと言わず、久しぶりの興奮をかみしめる時間が欲しいと言い直そう。この本足りるわ。園児に一番に見せる約束をしているわ。
そうか。ならば好きにするがよい。
Gathering laugh followed by her cat attendants. After watching her until she was out of sight, Birdcastle disappeared as well. Like Erica's room, Burncastle's was a balcony without a handrail, dug out of a bookshelf cliff. Angie had been kept waiting for some time, but she had waited patiently, looking down at the world below her.
遅くなったわね。ごめんなさい。
After Burncastle appeared, the black cats gave a bow and vanished.
ほら、持ってきたわよ。一なる真実の書。触れてもいい？お好きになさい。
Burncastle set it on the table and beckoned Angie forward. Slowly, Angie approached it.
これがエヴァおばさんの日記。
そうよ。その中にあんたが知りたかった一なる真実が記された鍵は持ってるわよね。
ええ、ここに。
Angie took the key out, looked at it there on her palm, and gripped it tightly. Even the heavy lock that held the diary so securely was fated to be swept aside easily as soon as Angie readied herself.
せかさないわ。あなたの心の準備がついてから開けるという。
この中には1986年10月。
そうよ。あなたが命と引き換えにしてでも知りたいと願ったすべてがね。
In that instant, two Angies appeared inside of her, taking control of her body at the same time. On one hand, she knew that she already paid a great price to learn the truth. As part of her gripped the key, wanting to avoid a second hesitation that might lead her to refuse to learn the truth now. The final moment with the book of single truth right before her. On the other hand, a feeling as though she was betraying the brother and the family who watched over her warmly made her bite her lower lip. However, though she shook, she could do nothing but watch as her right hand slowly brought the key towards the lock. What am I hesitating for? Inside this diary is the final destination of my sad, painful 12-year-long journey. Wasn't 12 years enough? Do I want to keep living that way? The brother is an illusion created by my heart, my naive hope that a miracle might still occur. If I put two options on a scale, then the path I should choose is clear. Slowly I pushed the key into the lock and twisted. The lock opened with a click. At the same time, it felt as though a crack ran through the key in my hands. Maybe part of the intricate design had fallen off. I couldn't tell where it was broken just by glancing at it. However, for some reason, its golden glint seemed dulled somehow.
あんたがその鍵で選択をしたから魔法が一つ消えたの。
何の魔法？
バトラが言わなかったその鍵はあなた以外の誰にも渡すことでそのあなたに選択を委ねるという魔法。今もうその鍵はただのこの日記を開け閉めするだけのただの鍵。
じゃあこのお兄ちゃんの鍵も
もらってもいいよ。あんたが読んだ後にもう一度施錠する。その錠前を開けるにはパーティーの立派なセレモニーだそうだ。
そう、好きにすればいい。
I don't give a damn what happens after I find the truth. Burncastle slid the key from where it lay on the table and put it into her pocket.
では真実を知ろうとするあなたの勇気が消えてしまう前に。
I lifted up Aunt Ava's now unlocked diary. The lock was unset. Even the hinge had been released by now. Nothing stands in the way of me opening the pages within. Thought of taking a deep breath. However, I decided against it. I prepared myself for this long ago. It would be so stupid to fuel my reluctance further. I opened it, violently, ruthlessly. I knew that this was the right way to open the pages that held the truth. As soon as the cover was opened, a brilliant light poured out, and my mind went hazy. Truth was sent to my mind directly without letters or words. Tell me what happened on that day in Rokinjima. My consciousness returned gradually. Nothing was written in the open book before me. Of course, this was my own blank, empty notebook. I was at school just sitting idly with my notebook open. The world had stopped. The hands on the clock had stopped too. In that case, the auditorium should have been filled with silence. However, I could hear a small commotion. In this world of suspended time, I could see dark shapes sneaking about in the shadows of the unmoving students. They were students with goat heads. They were sneaking glances at me from behind the frozen students. Ew. Whispering something to each other. I know, I can hear them. Everybody knows. One after another, students with goat heads grew out of shadows all over the room. They slipped around all the students, stopped in time, and gathered around me. Then they all jeered out something in unison, as if they knew I could hear, and showered me with giggles and gossip and sneers. However, nothing that came from the goat's mouth reached my ears as words. This was a world without letters or words, so no words reached me. However, their emotions and meanings did reach me, so I knew what it was they were saying, and then I was able to visualize it. One after another, the goats opened their massive jaws, showing their fangs that dripped with saliva, came forward to bite me. Time stopped for me. I was aware, but I could not move. That wasn't literally true. However, I was pretending I couldn't hear, so I couldn't move. The goats bit me all over my body, leaving their fang marks licking me. Maybe they didn't like the taste of my clothes. Taking advantage of the fact that I couldn't move, they chewed through my clothes one by one. Over and over again, the goats stuck their tongues, their jaws, their fangs into my naked body. I was covered with drool and bitten all over. Bright red teeth marks were left behind as sharp fangs pierced my skin, leaving trails of blood. They licked up that blood like real goats, hurting and humiliating me. As I hung my head, one of the goats pulled on my hair, forcing me to look up and spoke. They didn't say it with concepts, but with words I could hear. However, they weren't words of the human world. They were a witch's words, in the red truth, which signifies that the truth is certain.
認めないわ。そんな真実、私は認めない。認めない。あんたが認めても認めないでも真実は簡単だ。真実はこれなんだ。
Hee hee hee, ha 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 ha. Who cares about the truth? So stupid, so pointless. I'm the one who gets to decide if that's the truth or not, right? Even if it's the red truth, I won't acknowledge it, I won't forgive it, definitely won't accept it.
赤き真実は絶対？誰にとっての絶対？あんたたちにとっての絶対でしょ？私にとっての絶対じゃない！私の真実はあんたたちの真実に汚されたりなんかしない！
エンジェ、落ち着いて知りたいと願ったのよ。
私の真実はエヴァおばさんが犯人。エヴァおばさんがみんなを殺したのよ。悪いのは全部エヴァおばさん。お父さんもお母さんもお兄ちゃんもみんなただの犠牲者。誰も悪くない。誰も悪くない。だってそうじゃない。だってそうじゃない。
Your aunt will always be on your side, Angie-chan.
分かったわ。あんたの言葉の意味。そうよ、エヴァおばさん、あんたが犯人よ。あんたが犯人。それを認めない世界の方がおかしいのよ。壊れてるのよ。正しいのは私は赤き真実を、世界の全てを否定する。
そう。じゃああんただけに記せる赤き真実を記してごらんなさい。でも人間はどうやって赤き真実を記すの？
あるわよ。人間にしか記せない真っ赤なインクがあるじゃない。
エンジェさん、落ち着いてください。
正しいのは私、間違ってるのが世界。私が記してあげる。本当の赤き真実で私が真実を記してあげる。
Madness, yeah.
20屋上支援大至急。エンジェさん、 待ちなさい。早まるな。危ない。
Goodbye, Angel. Have a nice day.
記してあげる。これが私のお前たちの世界の真実なの。私は受け入れるものか。
Aww. Angie's body went past the edge of the balcony. That's pretty. The air which she had once been able to swim through is now completely merciless for some reason. Angie's body plunged straight into the darkness below. It's a crazy ass line. There's a red ink that humans can write with too. Yeah. Berncastle just watched in silence. Men in black suits rushed up to the fence, clutching at it and screaming.
エンジェさんか。ダメだ。ここからは全てが大至急事情を調べろ。無理だ。どうしようもなかった。ひょっとするとあそこの防護ネットに引っかかったかもしれん。調べてみる。
What fools. If you jump straight down from this height, do you really think such a flimsy safety net could possibly save you?
そんな奇跡絶対に起こらないこと。
Angie's body fell from the skyscraper-like bookshelf and slammed against the floor of the City of Books. Looking down from Berncastle's balcony, which was high as the skyscraper's roof, did it look like a lovely red pressed flower? No, you couldn't see it at all, just like how the death of a single lonely girl who rejected the world didn't matter to anyone in the world. Probably died instantly. It was only natural. She had fallen straight down from this height after all. Is it even conceivable that she wouldn't die instantly after something like that? The index finger on the right hand of her corpse stuck out as though it was tracing something. Could it be that, by some impossible miracle, she really had escaped an instant death? And couldn't the red blood that had drained from her at the moment of her death have been ink that drew her own personal red truth? However, no one would ever be able to tell what she had written. After all, the red blood pouring from her corpse had run over it all.
それさえもあんたエンジェ
Ava was looking down at the beautiful flower of blood raining from Angie's corpse. Which scene made the stupid counter go to 1? Oh, George just appeared. Oh no, it was Goda actually, I lied. Goda said something and I told him to
あん
drink
たを
bleach.
生かそうとした。でもあんた6歳より先の未来を生きようとしなかった。だからあんたは12年をかけてやっと元の場所に戻ってきた。
The eyes on Angie's corpse were closed, however there's no way of knowing if this was a peaceful thing. Eventually the corpse began to melt away. The end, it had become a meshy lump of flesh with only a few parts recognizable as human. It was hardly surprising. How else would she look after falling from that height and slamming against the asphalt?
あんたは死ねたわ。でもそれで天国のみんなに迎えてもらえるかは別だわ。だってあんたはその天国のみんなを拒絶してこう死ねる。いいえ、多分それはここだった。さようならエンジェ。
I don't think Annie's gonna go to hell just because she was hurt.
あらエヴァ、ちょうどいいところに。お呼びでしょうか、我が主。そのひき肉のゴミを捨てておいてちょうだい。私はこれを戻してくるわ。
Berncastle's hands was the key, which had lost its magic when Angie made her decision, and the book of single truth, which had been locked up again.
かしこまりました、我が主。
After looking down one more time, Berncastle vanished. Once she had gone, Amos summoned some cat familiars and ordered them to clean up. Black cats gathered Angie's flesh and scattered limbs and threw them into a tin bucket. Even in this miserable form, Angie's soul was still living. Perhaps living is a poor description. she was unable to die. From now on forever, she would drift along the deepest depths of oblivion, covered by the dust of oblivion until she finally disappeared. She continued to question herself. What did the truth mean to her? What was right and where was the place she could call home? As her flesh began to cool, even the energy to ask these questions began to fade. Eventually she would forget her everyday memories and even the reason why she was suffering. However, there's something she would never forget. That was the anguish. From this point forward, she would suffer endlessly without even knowing why. By the time the cats finished flinging her corpse into the bucket and dumping it into the sea of nothingness, Angie had forgotten even her own name. I think I'm gonna pause here. What's the sound I keep hearing? Yes, it must be the sound of rain. In that case, what are those two bright lights coming towards me? I don't know. However, they came at me with a screeching sound and stopped right in front of me. Blaring noise came at me over and over. Whatever's shining those bright lights is threatening me. It's probably telling me to get out of the way. However, I was incapable of moving even a finger. There was a sound and a car door opened. Car door. Apparently I was lying on the asphalt under the pouring rain. I saw a shadow, which was apparently the driver, open an umbrella and come towards me.
ここはそなたの庭か?
Shadow questioned me. Of course I couldn't answer.
そなたの庭ならば、なるほど。このような良き天気の日には昼寝としゃれ込みたくなるような。しかし、私の記憶が確かなら。
Shadow crouched and looked at my face. It was a woman. I was gonna say I thought I recognized her voice.
そなたはひき肉になりたいのか？あるいはすでにひき肉なのか？どちらなのか教えてほしい。
Clenched my chest. I felt I needed to answer somehow and communicate my intentions. Finally, I managed to let a short groan escape my lips.
なるほど。まだひき肉ではなかったようだな。
And that was how I met Ikuko.
"非常に衰弱しております。あと記憶障害の可能性が高いですな。CT を見ないことには分かりませんが、脳にダメージがある可能性もあります。
So did Angie survive the fall but forget the truth?
ダメージ程度で済んで大いに結構でした。あそこであのまま寝ていればそれどころでは済まなかったでしょうから。
いずれにせよ大きな病院で一度見せた方がいいでしょう。
ありがとう先生。この件は内密に。これはわずかですが、往診のお車代に。
わざわざ他言はしませんが。いやいや、こんなにたくさんいただくわけには。
In the end, the doctor took the money and swore to keep quiet about the matter. Eventually, Hachijo returned.
おや、起きていたのですか。具合はいかがです？
I nodded weakly, letting her know that it wasn't so bad for now. But where is this place? A room I have absolutely no memory of. In a house I don't remember at all. Been a minute, what's up, gamer? Hi, Swix, how are you? It has been a minute. I hope you're doing well. We're on the last episode. I'm pretty far in. And first and foremost, here's a woman I've never seen.
まずは私の自己紹介から。私は八条育子。親しげに育子と呼んでくれても、他人行儀に八条さんと呼んでくれても構いません。
Hachijo Ikuko.
八条家はこの辺りではちょっと知られた大地主
Didn't
の
good
名
just
家。
working, had a wedding to go to life? Oh, I totally get that. That's awesome though. Was the wedding fun?
出来のいい兄たちと違い、 私はどこかずれた変わり者。いろいろと悪さが過ぎまして、とうとう親たちからも愛想をつかされて追い出され、今はここで蟄居をさせられています。趣味は推理小説を読むことと、そして書くこと。年は秘密の独身女。
It was one of my best friend's wedding. Oh, awesome.
心は女子でも、そろそろそれを語るにはおこがましいかなという年頃です。
Oh, that's so great. I'm really happy. That's awesome. I've only been to 2 weddings before, but I went to one of my best friend's wedding and it was really cute. I cried. I was so touched by their love that I started crying. It was really funny. With the haze my mind was in, it was extremely hard to make out what she was talking about. However, I was able to pick up on the fact that she was trying to cheer me up.
それで、そなたの名前は？
My name. Logically, I know that being a human, I must have a name, and I do have a feeling that I did indeed have a name. However, no matter how hard I tried to remember what it was, it just made my head hurt.
何か名前以外に覚えていることは？
Who am I? My head. No, even my heart was a mess of torn flesh, and I couldn't remember a thing, not even who I was or what I was. But I must remember, I had some kind of purpose, or maybe a mission. In order to remember that, I first have to remember who I am. Who am I? What is my name? Where was I born, and what was my birthday? I need to remember something, anything. Age.
年？私の年は秘密です。
18.
私が18歳に見える？
So it's not Angie? I'm 18.
ああ、そなたの年齢ですか。
Is it Leon?
やれやれ、世辞が過ぎると思いました。
When I asked myself how old I was, the number 18 floated into my mind. To be honest, the number 18 felt a bit out of place. My mind felt much younger than that, and my pathetic body felt much older. Maybe it is Angie. I thought Angie was 17.
そなたは18歳
Or
とい
is
うわけ
Angie
で、
18?
そしてそれ以上のことは何も覚えていないと。
I nodded weakly. I never knew that knowing nothing about yourself could make you feel this powerless.
では、そなたが自分の名を思い出すまで18と書いて、トウヤと読む名前を与えましょう。八条トウヤ。いかがです？なかなかかっこいいです。自画自賛。
Oh, this was the other person who woke up in her place that she's had. Oh, I wonder who this is then. Hachicho Ikuko gave a satisfied laugh. From then on, I took the name Hachijo Toya. My inability to move my body was apparently due to a traffic accident. On that day, I'd been hit by a car, and Ikuko had picked me up from where I lay on the street. She hadn't hit the brakes. She probably would have driven straight onwards, thinking she'd run over a dead dog or something. Later on, perhaps rudely, I suspected that the one who hit me might have been Ikuko herself, but when I saw her completely undamaged from the front bumper, I gave up on that theory. Hachicho Ikuko lived in a small but lovely mansion on the top of a small hill in a village with a view of the sea. She also owned the hill behind her and was more than capable of enjoying the 4 seasons in privacy. As time passed slowly, my rehabilitation continued, and my ability to move improved little by little. However, it seemed I really did suffer some form of brain damage. Finding out who I was looked like it would be a very difficult task. In the beginning, when I couldn't bear not knowing my identity, my head often hurt so much it felt as though it would explode. However, as I slowly accepted the fact that I was a new person, with the new name Hachijo Toya, the headaches became less frequent. The whole time, no memories returned to me except the fact that I had been 18. However, I was unable to remember anymore, unable to even be sure that 18 was my true age, and eventually I stopped trying to remember my former self.
おはよう、トウヤ。
Oops, sorry, once.
昨日はひどい嵐でしたが、よく眠れましたか？おやおや、どこまで読んでくれたのですか？
I finished it.
これは驚いた。
Oops.
あの量の原稿用紙を一晩で読み切ったというのですか？
I was surprised too. Once I got into it, I finished it before I knew it. It's like I was just skimming it, or maybe like I was taking each page with just a glance.
どうやらそなたは速読の心得があるようですね。してどうでしたか？感想は。
I liked it a lot. Still, if you don't explain that part about the ocean currents a bit more clearly, it might be a little unfair for a detective novel. Oh, but I thought it was great that you had the foreshadowing with the ring right there at the beginning. After I finished it, I had to go back to the beginning and slap myself for being so easily tricked. I think giving people that feeling is what detective novels do best. Did I say something to offend you? If I did, you have my apologies.
いや、なぜ謝るのです。驚いています。そなたの的確な感想は称賛に値するでしょう。そなたはどうやら批評家か、あるいは推理小説作家の才能があるらしい。
A detective novel writer, critic. From across the fog of oblivion, I seem to remember myself fighting and arguing about mysteries or something like that. The way of fighting, which may have learned in the past, sent a surge of excitement through me. Mystery. Fighting. My head hurt. Took a painkiller and swallowed it with fresh water brought up from the well. Who am I really? But no matter how much I thought I couldn't remember, from what I've been told, the frequency of the headaches might be lessened by brain surgery, but there is no guarantee that it would do my memory any good. Ikiko said that she would let me have the surgery if I wanted it. However, I refused. Even if I can't remember, the real me is still there, sleeping inside my head. I was scared that the surgery might harm me somehow. By now, I've gotten used to dealing with the headaches. As long as I don't force myself to remember the past, the headaches don't torment me every day. So bit by bit, I became free of the headaches and got used to my new life as Hachijo Toya. Gradually, my interest shifted from myself to Ikuko. Hachijo Ikuko, a very strange woman. First off, she was apparently the daughter of a very well-off family, just as she said. However, she was considerably eccentric, and the various mischievous incidents she spoke of had apparently gotten her within an inch of being disowned. As a result, she had been given this house, and had been ordered to live here quietly and alone. She'd never been a particularly social person, so she happily accepted the new state of affairs, living however she pleased with servants to take care of her. She had no friends, no one ever came to visit. When I wasn't around, she only ever talked to an old black cat she kept as a pet named Byrne. I don't know her real age. She doesn't seem to be too old to marry yet, but with an isolated life like this, she isn't likely to meet people. She sometimes says she hasn't met anyone worth the trouble, but I think she's already given up on marriage. Her everyday life was very simple. She would either read through the many detective novels that were brought to her, or else write detective novels herself. At first I thought she was some novelist at a private retreat, plugging away at a new book. However, the manuscript she finished just ended up clipped together in a pile. With me as the sole exception, it didn't look like she ever let anyone read them. A novelist is someone who writes novels for people to read, so I figured you could hardly call her a novelist when she kept writing novels no one would ever see. Ikuko-san, why don't you ever show these to anyone?
そなたには見せています。無論、出来のマシなものに限りますが。
Haven't you ever thought of sending one to some publishing company? It's a waste otherwise when your works are so interesting.
私の作品などプロに一度送ったことがあるがさっぱりダメでした。私には分かっています。こんなもの素人の道楽です。
I don't think an amateur is a fitting word for someone who's so well versed in detective novels from all times and across the world.
大飯ぐらいが良き料理人になれるわけでもない。推理小説を読み散らすことが良き推理小説家であることを保証するわけでもない。そういうことです。だからこんなものは道楽に過ぎません。
Is it really fun to write detective novels you wouldn't show to anyone?
かつては楽しかった。かつては。
What about now?
そなたに感想を得ることが楽しい。とりあえず一章を書き終えました。お茶を用意させるので、また読んで感想を聞かせてもらえませんか？
Saying this with a smile, Ikuko thrusts a pile of manuscript paper at me. Convinced that whether you read detective novels or write them, they're boring if you're all on your own. You can only find something really precious when you share that world with someone else.
どうや？
Headache.
しっかり。今頭痛薬を。
I'm fine. I'm more interested in this manuscript. I can't wait for the new chapter. Seasons pass. Together with Ikuko in this town whose name I didn't even know, we spend our days debating detective novels and talking about ideas for new plots. At a glance, they may have appeared to be stale and unproductive days. However, Hachijo Toya found satisfaction with this new life.
"かようにして我が黒首ときたんは幕を閉じるのである。りょう。
With a dramatic flourish of her pen, Ikuko signified that her manuscript was now complete.
どうであるか。そなたのプロットを生かしつつ、最後に辻子の悲恋をもう少し厚くしてみました。
I think it's very good. I'd say the last farewell is sad enough to make it a moving story, not just a reasoning puzzle.
東野のプロットがあればこそです。
I love Ikuko. Yeah, she's cool.
この作品の前には、私がこれまで書き溜めた原稿など、ちり紙の価値さえない。
Swix, who's your favorite character in Umineko?
書
Have
き
I
な
asked
が
you
ら
that
も、
before?
私が世界で一番最初の読者であることの興奮。こんな経験は初めてです。
I just mentioned some ideas. You're the one who turned them into such a fascinating story, Ikuko-san. At some point she wrote me in as well, and I too started my journey in the world of writing detective novels. Apparently the old me had some talent for mysteries and detective novels and the like, and my talents seemed to be a fairly unorthodox kind. I tried turning my famous mysteries from across the world on their head, twisting those ideas into something new. Be it Toyasu, she's a fuck ton of death. Oh, interesting. However, a few ideas aren't enough to make a book. No meal is complete if all you can do is chop up vegetables. Thanks to Ikuko's writing, a skill she had built up over many years, my ideas were transformed into the work of fiction. This work, A Strange Tale of Kurokubi Island, the two of us merged the best of our respective personalities. And though I hate to brag, it had turned into a masterpiece that we could show to anyone without shame.
もしもし、書斎にシャンパンを持ってきてください。グラスはあなたの分も。これまでで一番の作品が仕上がりました。
Ikuko called for some champagne over the internal phone line. Joined by the servant who happened to be working that day and the cat burned, we raised our glasses high and toasted to our accomplishment. Next to her is Lambda. Yeah, Lambda's cool too, for sure. I don't know if I have a favorite character, honestly. Which episode is this? I don't remember this. Hi, Moonlight. The Hopkin. We're on episode 8 right now, yeah. Ikuko-san, I have an idea if you don't mind. If you're interested in seeing my journey through Umineko, you can check out my YouTube where I'm still uploading it, but I go through all the episodes. So if you're interested in seeing that and not just the ending, that is an option. But if not, I totally understand.
お祝いしましょう。聞こう。そなたの話すアイデアなら、シャワーとトイレ中でなければ、いつだって耳を貸そう。
Why don't we try submitting our book? I've never read anything this interesting before. I'm sure lots of other people will want to read it.
そうでしょうか。過去にもそう思い投稿しましたが、結果は。
I believe in your talent, Ikuko-san. What about you?
私とてそなたの才能を確信しています。
Then it's decided. To Ikuko-san's big debut.
東野のメジャーデビューを祈って。
We clinked our glasses once more, and on it went. We must have had way too much to drink. Before I knew it, I must have passed out on the sofa. There was a blanket covering me. Ikuko-san must have put it there. The lights were out in the study, but it wasn't dark. The computer monitor was glowing. Outside it had started to rain. It reminded me of the day Ikuko-san found me and took me in. Because of that, whenever it rains, I find myself wondering who I was, and I usually get headaches, so I wasn't sure whether the pain was because of the rain or because I drank too much. Ikuko-san, turn on the lights. Using a computer in the dark is bad for your eyes.
おや、起こしてしまいましたか。
No, I slept well. I feel refreshed now. Turned on the light and looked out through a gap in the curtains, as I thought it was the sort of pouring rain that always reminded me of that day. It's raining pretty hard out there. The wind looks pretty strong too. I hope the rain gutters don't get clogged with leaves again.
先日掃除をさせましたから、当分は大丈夫でしょう。
Her answer sounded a little bit abstracted. Apparently her attention was absorbed by the computer. You're pretty hooked by that computer lately, Ikuko-san. Did you find an interesting article or something?
バカバカしいとは思いつつも、ほら、例の六軒島事件。
Rokenjima.
六軒島ミステリーの話は先日したでしょ。これが今ネットでブームになっているのです。それをめぐる議論や考察、中でも義書が実に面白い。義書というのは付近の島に流れ着いた後宮マリアの署名のあるボトルメッセージが他にもあったと仮定して書いたもので。
Ikuko kept showing off her knowledge of the subject. However, a huge bell was clanging inside my head. The noise was so great that I thought my head would split open. Unable to tell what the floor was over the ceiling, I crumpled and crunched my head.
どうや、大丈夫ですか?
My head hurts. The Rokenjima explosion accident, the many disquieting rumors surrounding it, the scheming of the relatives who were after Ushiromi Kinzo's vast wealth in the hidden gold. And the truth, Ushiromi Eva, the sole survivor, said nothing. Eventually everything would be inherited by the granddaughter, Ushiromi Angie, who escaped harm because she was absent on that day. Angie, Ushiromi Angie. I am Ushiromi, yeah. No good, my head's getting split open. Incomprehensible scenes pierced my eyelids from the inside like blades of light. So what am I looking at? Who are these people calling me up by the name Toya? Who am I? Who are these people? What is this memory? Help me, Ikuko. Someone else's memory is hurting me. My head's splitting. So who is it? It must be Angie. I could hear the sorrowful sound of the wind, and that must be the rain. Who was I again? I am Ushiromi.
Angie! Angie!
Yeah.
お願いよ、返事をして。
Voices calling to me. Dad and Mom. It can't be. In 1986 on Rokenjima, Mom and Dad.
エンジェ、しっかりしろ。お父さんの声が聞こえるか。
お願いだから返事をして。エンジ。
Why is Katie acting like she cares about her daughter? Dad, Mom. I'll say it out loud. Dad, Mom.
エンジェ、エンジェ、よかった。
I feel my body being lifted up firmly and hugged roughly. Mom and Dad were hugging me. Well, there's a fan theory. What? Well, they're literally saying it's Angie. What's the fan theory? That's what she said to Ava. Oh, my Sunlight the Hopkin, thank you for following. I appreciate it. My eyelids have been open for that. What you said to Ava? What do you mean? I'm confused. My eyelids have been open for a while now. I could feel the light slowly returning to my eyes. Just like your eyes get used to the dark, my eyes got used to the light. Bit by bit, the scene around me came into view. What Kiri said to Ava when they had their face off. What's the fan theory? When she said that she didn't care? Yeah. I remember. Give me a sec. Oh, okay. No, sorry. Work call. Oh, yeah, take your time. Take your time. Just like your eyes get used to the dark, my eyes got used to the light, and bit by bit, the scene around me came into view. We're in the Golden Land. However, it was an unusual sight which seemed to be very far away. My body was being hugged by Dad and Mom. Dad was sniffing, his face covered with tears. There were tears in Mom's eyes too as she held me tight. It was so strong that it hurt a bit. They held me with all their strength. Me, the bad kid who wasn't obedient, who always had an excuse, and always tried to do the opposite of what her parents said. They held me tight to make sure I didn't head down the wrong path. I'm gonna cry. This is emotional. As my eyes adjusted, I could see the other people. I remember I cried on this scene. Yeah, I'm getting a little teary-eyed for sure. As my eyes adjusted, I could see other people besides my parents. Everyone was there. George, Jessica, and Maria. My uncles and aunts. Even Sakutaro. And there was the witch Virgilia, Ronave, and... Please cry, Faye. Why do you want me to cry?
そなたは幸運だった。偶然にも虚無の海の波間を漂うそなたを見つけたのだ。ひどい姿であったぞ。そなた自身がその姿を思い出すまでに随分と時間をかけた。
ベアトリーチェ、じゃあここは
黄金鏡だ。ここでお父さんたちはみんなお前が帰ってくるのを待ってたんだぞ。
絶対にあなたは帰ってくると信じてた。
Did I come home because I was supposed to? I've gone back to how I'm supposed to be and now.
いや、お前は帰ってきたんだ。
Oh no, I might cry again.
そうよ。あなたが私たちのところへ帰りたいと願った。
I think it's especially touching for me because for me this just sounds like I'm envisioning like my own dead parents saying this, you know what I mean? Because Angie has the dead parents. So it's very touching for me.
お父さん、お母さん、私は
今は何も言わなくていいわ。大変な冒険をしてきたわね。あなたは一人ぼっちで大変な冒険をしてきたわ。
これで分かっただろう。もう忘れないだ。
I understand, Dad.
ここがお前の帰るべきところだってことだ。
When I gave that answer, Dad and Mom hugged me again. Hot tears fell onto my face. They were Dad and Mom's tears.
無事でとはとても言えない姿だったけれど、よかったわ。帰ってきて。
エヴァ、おばさん。
私のことをいくらでも。だからお父さんとお母さんに100万回キスをしてあげて、あなたのことをいつも思っているみんなにも。きっと
おばさん、
あなたのもう一人のお母さんにどうかただいまと言ってあげて。
Mom gave me a push from behind and I stumbled forwards towards my other mother.
エヴァ、お母さん。
エンジェちゃん。
あの日、私がそう呼べていれば。
Sorry to blow my nose.
何も謝ることがなかったかもしれない。私たちは新しい世界を二人で生み出せたかもしれない。
もういいのよ。エンジェちゃんは帰ってきてくれたわ。だからもう何も言わなくていいのよ。
お母さん、お母さん。
おかえり、エンジェちゃん。あなたは私の可愛い娘よ。
エヴァお母さん、あなたはいつまでも、そして最後まで私の一番の味方だった。
Before I explain, we're in a really emotional moment. The two of them hugged each other quietly, burying their faces in the other's shoulders and sobbing. Ava did nothing wrong. Well, I don't know about that, but I do like Ava. But she definitely did some wrong things. The truth wasn't worth anything at all. Factually. In the first place, the truth always is in the past. The point of the future isn't to learn what happened in the past. What really matters is whether I can live and prosper in the truth that is the now. Ava's on my high A tier list? Yeah, same for me. She's about an A for me. If I truly live and prosper, that is the truth. Back to when I only ever tried to see the truth of the past. I was nothing more than a ghost trapped in the past. Since that time, I haven't lived a single day. Now I truly understand. This is what the real truth is.
私は生きるわ。そしてどれほどみんなに愛されていたかを思い出したわ。
Because I was young and selfish, I didn't even remember until now. The kind grandpa who always spoiled me. The entertaining aunts and uncles. All the kind and gentle servants. It was always warm. And yet, because I was young and cool, I never tried to remember any of that. Everyone got distorted by my irresponsible imagination, and I completely forgot the truth. Now I can remember clearly, and I understand. That Halloween quiz party certainly was an illusion. It never happened. However, didn't we do all kinds of fun things when the relatives gathered? Things that were no more or less fun than the party. For the first time since the start of the game, I went up to each and every one of them to greet them, thank them, and apologize. To thank Grandpa for always pampering me. To thank my aunts and uncles. To thank the cousins for always playing with me, even though I was so selfish. And I thanked and apologized to the illusions, and I think I said something horrible to Sakutaro once in the past. To Maria and Nei-chan too.
マリアお姉ちゃんは本当の魔女だったんだわ。
マリアは最初から魔女だよ。エンジェだって一度はその領域に近づけたのにね。
本当の意味で分かってなんかいなかった。かわいそうなマリアお姉ちゃんのかわいそうな魔法、そんな風にしか見ていなかった。だから私には幸せのかけらが拾えない。かつてお姉ちゃんは私にそう言ったわ。
仕方ないよ。宇宙は2人で作らないと。マリアにはベアトがいたけれど、エンジェは一人ぼっちだった。
いいえ、もしエヴァおばさんをお母さんと呼べていたら、私は2人だったわ。きっとマリアお姉ちゃんと同じ魔法で私は新しい世界を生み出せたわ。
すべてわらわのせいだ。 わらわが面白半分に投じたボトルメッセージがそなたの未来に歪みを生み、わらわにもその責任がある。
まったくね、あんたのボトルメッセージのせいだわ。そのせいであんたの真似をした偽書を書く連中が現れて、どんどんおかしな話が膨らんでいった。
However, the message bottles thrown away by Beato did not name a specific person as the culprit. One of the forgers wrote a plausible forgery that had Ava as the culprit, and it spread like wildfire. Even though I should have known better than everyone else that it was impossible, I accepted it in the end.
ベアトのせいじゃないわ。周りの誰がどんな邪推を重ねようとも、私の中の真実はたった一つのはずだった。なのに安易に私はみんなの温かな思い出を手放し、心を彼らに明け渡してしまった。
いやいや、そもそもわらわがボトルメッセージなど投じなければ、未来の六軒島は全てはわらわのせいだ。
In the episode 7 Tea Party, where Kiryu and Rudolph are shown to be the real killers and perpetrators of the Ushinomi massacre, Ava and Kiryu have this scene where Kiryu's talking about she doesn't give a fuck about Angie, and she's just a tool to keep Rudolph chained to her. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I remember.
そうね、それもそうだわ。やっぱり。
The theory goes that she said all that to Ava in case she did lose the jewel. Why would she say that, though? That doesn't make sense to me.
素直にそう言われるとカチンとくるぞ。
So Ava would feel pity and take care of Angie? Oh, interesting. I don't know. I don't really believe in that theory, but I could see why people might think that.
わらわのせいだけでなく、やはりそなたも悪いのだ。
In case she lost, yeah.
そうね、あんたも悪いし私も悪いわ。でもお互い罵り合うのもバカらしい。だって私は未来の魔女。
I feel like Beto should take more responsibility for literally massacring everyone.
あなたは過去の魔女。未来に生きる私はその魔法で
I
未
mean,
来を築くべきなの。
I don't know. I know Beato's life really sucked, but she did kill everyone because a boy broke a promise. She had a shitty life. I mean, I get it. Beato never killed anyone? What? Well, Yasu, excuse me.
私たちは共に何らかの責任を負うけれど、それを責める資格はどちらにもないわ。
エンジェならマリアージュ・ソルシエールの教えをきっと理解してくれると思ってたよ。
そうね、私はマリアージュ・ソルシエールの最後の一人としてお姉ちゃんの魔法を伝える義務があるわ。
You really never killed anyone who was Rudolph and Kirie? Well, to be fair though, if Beato hadn't sent the letter to them and told them about the epitaph, that would have never perspired. And she had the intention of killing everyone if the epitaph wasn't solved, so I still think she bears responsibility.
マリアの魔法はみんなを幸せにする魔法なの。
Plus, the other games were like there are other possibilities because the pieces can only do what's possible for the pieces to do.
清らかなる魔
What the
法
people
も
could do, I mean.
邪悪なる魔法も思いのままよ。
本当ね、魔法は心の持ち方で全く違う姿に変わる。正しい導きがなければ正しい魔法は使えない。そして正しい魔法は人を幸福に導くわ。
素晴らしいことです。人を幸せにすることこそが魔女が魔法を振るう唯一の理由なのです。その教えをようやく我らが無限の魔女の系譜の最後の魔女に伝えることができて、私は嬉しいですよ。 悪かったな。全然伝えてなくてよ。
未来の魔女エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ、マリアージュ・ソルシエールは今こそあなたの著名を解く。ウリュー、エンジェはきっと帰ってきてくれるって信じてたよ。おめでとうございますエンジェ様。
Aw, Mammy.
あなたたちと共に旅をした日に私は一度は理解をしたつもりでいたの。ごめんね。
She did everything to give Angie a life worth living. She loved Angie so much and felt so much for Ryber's skill.
本当にごめんね。
Yeah, I'm not like against Ava or anything. I just think there were things she did to Angie she probably shouldn't have. Not that she was completely at fault for that. And Angie pushed and pushed her to the limit.
大丈夫か？
ええ、大丈夫。私はもう一人じゃないもの。私は生きるわ。みんなと一緒に。そして未来に生きるマリアージュ・ソルシエールの魔法を伝えるために生き抜くことを誓うわ。マリアお姉ちゃんの魔法は私でさえ救ってくれたもの。魔法を必要としている人たちはもっと大勢いる。それを正しく伝え、一人でも多くの人々を救うことがマリアージュ・ソルシエールの最後の魔女の私の使命なんだわ。
それは実現できそうか？
Person can only take so much, even the end she don't want Angie nor her parents were terrible people.
もちろんよ。そのための力だってあるわ。私の先代様エヴァ・ベアトリーチェがたっぷりと築き上げてくれた。私はそれを全て継承しているわね。
Ava's the goat.
私がもう少し健康で長生きできてたら全部使い切っちゃうつもりだったんだけどね。
I still think she can be a little mean, but that's just me. As Angie laughed, tears poured from her eyes again. Everyone surrounded Angie with their kind, warm smiles. Oh yeah, she's a bitch. Battler stood alone in the rose garden maze, letting the rain quietly fall on him. After searching for some time, Angie found him.
お兄ちゃん。
Angie, who was feeling guilty since anger in her brother's expression, so she thought he was gonna hit her. She shut her eyes, however her brother touched her softly. He patted her head gently.
な、真実なんて大したもんじゃなかっただろ。
うん。お兄ちゃんはこんなにも温かな世界でずっと私だけがずっと背を向けていたから。
お前は真実を知ってしまった。
うん。
だから誰かが生きて帰ってくるかもしれないっていう奇跡や希望は、でもお前にはもう未来を生きるための新しい希望や使命があるな。
お兄ちゃんがその温かな希望を、それを私が自ら開いて逃がしてしまった。パンドラの箱より始末が悪いわ。私は知る必要のない真実も、そして希望までも全て逃がしてしまって。
いいさ、開けちまったなら仕方ねえさ。それで空っぽなら後腐れがなくていいじゃねえか。下手な希望はかえってトゲになることもあるしな。
Adler laughed heartily. Then, with that same smile on his face, he told her,
俺たちは もう死んでる。
うん。
ひょっとしたら生きてるかもしれないって希望がお前の12年間を生きる糧にしてくれた。それはもうきれいさっぱり。
分かってる。これからの私は新しい人生に踏み出すわ。
ベアとは六軒島を猫箱に閉ざし、次の魔女のエヴァおばさんはその猫箱の蓋を生涯守った。その次の魔女のお前はその蓋を開けちまったが、過去の真実なんてどうでもいいことじゃねえか。
ええ、私はこれから真に生きる。そして自分だけの真実を結実するわ。
頑張れよ、マリアージュ・ソルシエールの最後の魔女。マリアの魔導書を読んだぜ。あれはとてもいいことを書いた素晴らしい本だ。聖書だって翻訳がいるなら、マリアの魔導書にだって翻訳がいるだろう。お前がそれを翻訳するんだ。そしてかつてのお前と同じ境遇の子供たちに伝えてやれ。それがお前の新しき未来の魔女の使命だ。俺はいない。でもお前の後ろにいつだっていて見守ってるからな。
知ってるわ。お兄ちゃんだけじゃないわ。みんなも一緒よ。
When you realize the whole thing is just an older brother begging his sister to live for herself and not to kill herself, and it's
ずっとずっと永遠にお前を愛してる。それを忘れるな。
忘れないわ。絶対。永遠に。
Angie leapt into Battler's chest and sobbed. Humans are sad creatures who can learn but not unlearn. She'd already learned. It may have been a cruel, terrifying, merciless thing, capable of destroying even the miracle called hope. However, there was still one tiny fragment left gripped in her hand. Her family's love. If she can just remember that and hold it tight, then surely Angie will live on. She'll be able to stop before taking that step into nothingness.
それに六軒島の猫箱はまだ完全に開かれたわけじゃない。お前が中身を覗いちまっただけの話だ。だからお前が自ら蓋となれ。そして今度はお前が猫箱の中のみんなを守るんだ。俺や親父やキリエさん、いとこのみんなやおじさんじいさまやしおりのみんな、幻想の住人のみんなをな。
うん、今度は私がみんなを守らなきゃ。
ならそれは急いだ方がいいんじゃない？
Sound of popcorn being eaten ran up from behind a rose bush. It was Lambda.
あんたも知ってると思うけど、ベルンはもうじき一なる真実のショーパーティーで会場には天国から地獄から異界から別世界からあらゆる世界の面々が集まってる。そこで中身を公表されたらもう何もかも手遅れよ。
私行くわ。ベルンカステルにあの鍵を渡してしまった私の責任だわ。私が行って取り返してくる。
図書の都にか。しかし入る方法がない。あそこには結界があるんだ。
あいつがこれをくれたの。これがあれば自由に出入りできるってバカなやつね。私を捨てるとき回収を忘れたんだわ。
Lambda stalks at an all-time high, bird stalks in the trash. There was Angie fished through her pocket and there was a jingling sound. A bell with a blue ribbon tied to it.
それよ、招待状と引き換えに渡される図書の都の臨時入館証。それがあればとりあえず一人は図書の都に乗り込めるわね。まあかけらの海を誰かが送ってくれればの話だけど。
ラムダデルタ、私を図書の都に連れてって。
エンジ。
それが私の責任の取り方だわ。私が一なる真実の書の公開を食い止める。
ほ 本気で言ってんの？あそこは化け物中の化け物の服までよ。ベルンの庇護を失ったあんたなんてハエ以下のハムシ扱い。ベチッと叩いて潰されておしまいよ。
The bell was snatched from Angie's hands.
ラムダデルタ、そこには俺が行こう。
I have 14k points. Nice!
お前は俺を送ってくれる
Are
だけ
you
でいい。
waiting for the PNG change?
どうせ俺は猫箱の中にしか存在できない虚無の存在だ。だがエンジは未来に生きなくちゃならない。
Maybe, or the gift. You can do the
そして
gift
お前
change
だって
too.
未来ある存在だ。だから俺が行く。俺には何も失うものなんてないんだからな。
いいえ、これは私の責任、そして私のけじめ。私が自らの手でやらなきゃ未来は何も変わらない。そして未来の猫箱を何も救えない。
Andy tried to snatch the key from Battler's hand, but Battler had no intention of giving it up. The two of them were grimly serious. From the sidelines, it looked like an ordinary squabble between two close siblings. Lambda watched this conversation and shrugged. If she just took one of them to the city of books, she wouldn't have to make any enemies. And there would be no risk to her. All she cared about was which one would make the story more interesting, nothing else. Then she finally noticed.
Stop! あんたたち、ちょっとストップ！ストップ！
何よ、後にしてよ。
今兄弟で大切な話をしてるんだ。
まずあんたたち、その組み合ってる手を解きなさい。鈴はバトラが持ってるのね。バトラ、跳ねてみて。
跳ねるこうか。
Jingle jingle.
次、エンジェ、跳ねてみて。
なんで私まで。
Jingle jingle.
え、どうして。
Battler's holding the bell. Where'd the sound come from? She hurriedly searched through her pockets. When she did, another blue ribbon bell came out of a different pocket than the first one.
それこれと同じ鈴だよな。
そんな、どうして2つ？私は1つしかもらわなかったわよ。
どうしてかなんか知らないわ。でもとにかくあんたは図書の都に入れる鈴を2つ持っている。よってあんたたちの仲睦まじいやりとりをこれ以上見ている必要がなくなったわけ。
Pair of them gripped their bells and looked at each other.
最初から今回のゲームはあんたたち2人のものだわ。ただ対決するプレイヤーには若干の変更があったみたいね。あんたたち2人が競い合うゲームじゃない。猫箱をめぐって蓋を閉ざそうとするバトラとエンジェと、エンジェはベルン側からバトラ側にチームを変更した。それだけの話。
ラムダデルタ、俺たちを図書の都へ連れて行ってくれ。
分かってるわよね。連れてくだけよ。あとは今度こそ感激者に徹するからね。あんたたちが図書の都で何をどう戦ってどうベルンにコテンパンにされるかをじっくりたっぷり間近で感激してるだけだからね。
ラムダデルタ、ありがとう。
Woo! Pause here, I think. I think I might actually, I might end here. I just wanted to do a short stream at night, you know? It's pretty late. I really need to shower, so I think I'm gonna go do that. Oh god, terrifying. The two frickin' scary people. This is a good time. Yeah. So I think I'll just end it here. But thank you guys so much for watching. That was really emotional. Next time you can finish. Oh really, you think? That's awesome. Yeah. Well, it was really I don't know if I'd say fun because I was crying, but it was good. Yeah, you at the ass end. You didn't cry? Yeah, I did. I was crying. You didn't hear me crying? I was crying so much. Maybe you didn't hear it. You didn't hear me blowing my nose. So yeah, I was definitely crying. I definitely felt emotional, especially because I have dead parents. So my girlfriend finished about 2 months ago. Damn, she went fast. But really, I didn't hear it. Yeah, and she was a wreck. Oh, jeez. Well, I can't wait to finish it. It's so exciting. Yeah, no, I got very emotional. Both of the games we played were very emotional. Have a good night. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good night as well. And you take care, stay hydrated. And I'll see you guys next time, okay? Thanks again for being here. Bye bye. So many crazy Italians in these visual novels. Oh my god. Dude, Maria, yeah, she fucking sucks. Well, Beatrice was normal, actually. The first Beato was, yeah. Here are the two terrifying individuals. Shannon and Cannon stood guard in front of the door to the Golden Land. They glared quietly and fearlessly at the eerie fleet of ships across the horizon. Oh wait, hold on, my rice is ready. Let me grab that. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you for waiting. Pinches my fingers. How can you mistake fettuccine and linguine? You call yourself my capagor capora. Give me Beta mortallano pish mortadella. Make your mama cry. She raised such a goomba. Delicious. Shannon slowly lifted her hands. The power of magic! Cannon raised his right hand, a red blade appeared there.
そこで止まってください。それ以上の接近を拒否します。
それ以上近寄れば切る。
Yeah, you guys like killing people. Although Cannon never really killed anyone, did he? He usually just faked his own death, right? Or did he kill people too? It was usually Shannon. Well, it was Yasu. I know it's just Yasu, but... They could see a single... He killed Jessica that one time? Oh, that's brutal. They could see a single dinghy leaving the fleet and approaching them. They couldn't tell if it was a messenger or the first wave. Shannon and Cannon watched it cautiously. Oh my god, Erica with the fucking pirate hat on. That is so funny. She looks so silly. She's such a silly little lad. The head of that dinghy rowed by goats stood Erica. Where the heck did she get that thing from? Maybe she's trying to act the part of the fleet's leader. Erica was glaring at them and smiling aggressively with what appeared to be a pirate hat on her head. I'm the captain now.
最後通帳に参りました。交渉余地のあるものです。開門してください。
Shan and Cannon looked at each other. Erica was the one offering this deal. It wasn't likely to be anything agreeable. However, if they turned her away, the attack would probably begin at once. Since they were in a firmly inferior position, they wanted to buy time of any means they could. At Shannon's nod, Cannon erased his sword. The Golden Land was filled with a hard downpour accompanied by occasional thunder. Erica, who realized that this weather spoke for the emotions, smiled even more boldly. The center of the Golden Land was the arbor surrounded by the Golden Rose Garden. A large number of human and illusions were there arguing about something. Even without asking, it was easy to guess the nature of the debate by their anguished expressions. After all, in this life or death situation, they didn't have many options they could take. In the direction Erica was being led, Beato stood waiting, accompanied by the Chiester sister troops. When Erica, accompanied by her goat guard, saw Beato, she gave a bow that only appeared graceful. Beato followed suit and gave a graceful bow of the sort that was rarely seen from her.
黄金鏡の主無限と黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ名乗られる
As though implying that she was more than happy to go through with this farce, Beato introduced herself boldly and requested that Erica do the same.
尊厳なる感激と戯曲と傍観の魔女により厳選されし名誉ある図書の都より私は図書に名誉と保護を与えし司書の艦隊司令官にして真実の魔女フルドエリカと申しますどうぞお見知りの気を
要件を聞こ
うお喜びください我ら図書に名誉と保護を与えし司書の艦隊はあなた方に名誉ある朗報をもって参上しました一つ図書の都は無限の魔女ベアトリーチェによって生み出されたゲーム版を名誉ある厳選されたる図書に認定されましたことを報告いたします
ほうそれは名誉なことである
このゲーム版は非常に興味深くかつ独創的で研究価値の高いものです全ての市民に公開される価値のあるものですよって図書の都は我らにこのゲーム版に永遠の名誉と保護を与えることを命ぜられました
くどいし長いとっとと本題を言え
本ゲーム版の全てを名誉ある図書の都に譲渡することを要求しますこれは本ゲーム版とその駒にとって最高の名誉と保護です
嫌だと言ったら
全ての市民に共有されるべき名誉文化を私的独占する罪で告発されます我々はあなたに対し全ての市民の権利と利益を保護するため攻撃を開始することを通告します
その攻撃で市民の共有財産が破壊されるのは構わぬ
名誉図書保護法の規定により名誉文化私的独占を犯す犯罪者がこれを盾に籠城執行官隊は大法院の許可を持って保護より逮捕を優先することが許されますもちろんすでに大法院の許可状はこちらにございます
ついでにその逮捕は生死を問わぬと書いてありそうだ
おやよくこんな小さい文字が読めますね では茶番は以上です。ぶっちゃけどうします？
そなたの要求を飲む。どのような利点？
お互い無駄な仕事をしなくて済みます。そしてあなたの勇敢にして名誉ある功利は図書の都にて誉れ高く終章に記されるでしょう。分かってますよね。あなたは絶対勝てません。これは戦いでさえない井戸の底で上を見上げるあなたに石をぶつけるだけの一方的なものなのですから。
わらわに選べる。図書館の魔女たちはわらわの最後をいかに記すかだけという。
あとはあなた次第です。もしあなたがこのゲーム版を愛おしく思うなら、駒たちは末永く大勢の市民に愛され、その役目を永遠に続けることができるでしょう。
つまりは好き放題に生み出した惨劇を永遠に繰り返すということ。
あんたがしてきたことと何か違い
は？ない。以上です。ならわらわの答えを聞かせる。
どうぞ。
Erica tensed slightly. After all, this was the great Lady Beatrice she was dealing with. She might shout, "Here's my answer," dramatically and do something crazy. They say a cornered rat is the most likely to bite a cat. Furthermore, Erica had intel telling her that the great Lady Lambda, the Witch of the Senate, had been spending her time inside the Golden Land, though only as a theater-goer. Erica needed to carry out this noble task that her master had assigned her, and she had to carry it out perfectly. If she was honest, she wanted to make Birito wave a white flag, even by trickery if necessary. So even though this was a farce, she held back from giving any unneeded provocation. She gulped and tried to size Birito up. And then with a pathetic expression on her face, Birito let out a sigh.
素直に言う。わらわはもう疲れた。
それはどういう意味です？
わらわのゲームはバトラとの戦いを終えた時点ですでにその目的を終えている。なのにその後の都合で何度もゲームが繰り返されたのだ。わらわは正直もう疲れている。
正直全く想像していないお返事でした。では降伏なさると？本気で？
ぶっちゃけるとどっちでもよい。降伏でもそなたらに討ち取られるのでもどっちでもよい。わらわは誰の手であっても構わぬから、このゲーム版とその物語が幕を下ろすことを望んでいる。
Of course, that was a lie. She couldn't win even if she fought. For now, their best option was to play for time. They'd fix Erica's attention to this spot, and during that time, Battler and the others would steal the key from Burn Castle, while she was completely off her guard. Once they had the key, they would return to the Golden Land, use that key to let Angie open the door of the future and see her off. That was their goal line. Everything that happened after that would be inside the cat box. Angie would live on into the future with hope. No one would know whether Beato and the others were alive or dead. That was enough. The only strategy Beato and the others could use to achieve this was to buy time.
降伏してくれるなら拍子抜けではありますが、私も手間が省けて助かります。
ところがそのだな、ここだけの話なのだが、そなたも存じておろうが、ダイラムダデルタ教がご滞在されている。今日は我らにドラマチックなクライマックスを提供せよとな。
それはひどいわがままですね。10万の兵力を要する我が艦隊にすでに解き終えたパズルみたいな絞りかすのあんたたちがほんの数十人でどう抵抗をさせようというのです？
そうなのだ、そうなのだ。 戦力差は圧倒的。戦いにさえならぬと我らは言っておるのだがな。そのラムダデルタ教が彼女の友人たちを集めて共闘するから徹底抗戦せよと言って聞かぬの。
ラムダデルタ教のご友人。
Unlike Byrne, who kept to herself, Lambda had many friends. Her friends and patrons were either territory lords or great influence of great influence, who came from all over the place, or else monsters that had become legends in their own lifetime. In all seriousness, her so-called fan club had enough size and influence that it could have suddenly declared itself a separate country in the Sea of Fragments without anyone being overly surprised.
困ったことにラムダデルタ教はやる気満々でな。さっきから勝手に各地に電話を繰り返し友人知人を呼びつけておるのだ。
Of course, this was all a lie. Lambda had returned into a small candy comet and was now shooting towards the city of books with Angie and Battler in tow. To make sure that Lambda and Battler's absences were not noticed, everyone was crowded around the arbor, pretending to argue furiously with each other.
バトラ様、ご決断を。我ら煉獄の七姉妹、いつでも死ぬ覚悟はできております。
Oh god, I'm having so much fun playing HSR. Oh, is it? Did you already have yours downloaded? I still have about 10 minutes left.
玉砕には反対だ。
But I'm glad you're having fun.
死んで咲く果実などありはせんよ。
あなたは腰抜けです。生きて旅衆の恥ずかしめを受けるなど考えられません。
生きてこそチャンスを待てることもあります。
そうですとも。短期は損期とも申します。
マトラ、男ならバシッと決めろい。大ラムダデルタ様が力を貸してくれるってんだろ。
どうかんや。男には決断の時があるんやで。
決断は選んだ内容よりも選んだ時を称賛されることもございます。
降伏すれば乱暴はしないかも。
そんなことあるわけないわよ。あんたそれでもオスライオン？牙はどこに行ったのよ。
どうせ死ぬなら豚としてでなく狼として死にたい。
あんたバカ。そういうのを犬死にって言うのよ。
ラムダデルタさんの呼び寄せる援軍の力次第ですな。
ラムダデルタさん、本当にあなたのお友達はあいつらに勝てるだけの力があるの？
賭けね。降伏して死ぬか、賭けに出て敗れて死ぬか。
ああ、なら賭けに出た方が生き残れる可能性は高いってことになるわ。
大法院は名誉ある幸福には慈悲を与えるでしょう。
バッカー元老院だろ。どうせなんだかんだ言って全員断頭台に決まったら。
とにかく皆さん冷静に頭を冷やしましょう。私は事を荒立てることには反対です。
君こそ冷静になるべきじゃないかい。
Shut up, George!
相互確証破壊という戦略もある。
You're a psychopath! Oh my god.
仮に勝てないにせよ、こちらもただで済ます気はないという戦略は相手への抑止になるよ。
つまりよ、そっちがやる気ならこっちもただじゃ死なねえぜってことだぜ。
ラ ラムダデルタの友達はみんなすごいよ。みんなすごい伝説と武勇伝を持つすっごい魔女や怪物、悪魔や神様がいっぱいなんだから。あんなお船が星と同じ数を並べていたって一息で吹き飛ばしてしまうよ。
大丈夫でしょうか。私たちの演技蹴取られないでしょうか。
問題ない。
Oh my god, Genji, why are you even saying that out loud? What if she fucking heard you? I mean, not Genji, Goda. They both start with a G, so I get them confused.
お前ももっと語気を強めて喋るのだ。無礼講に行け。腰抜けどもめ。
Period, Kinzo.
最後に一花咲かせてやろうという気概はないのか。
ちょっとお待ちください。戦いを望まぬ者がいることもお忘れなく。私は降参が良いかと思います。
Of course you do, puss puss.
何？ゴーダー！
Yes!
この敗北主義じゃんめ！
Preach, Kinzo.
痛い親方様、演技出すので。
Why are you saying that?
さあ議論も盛り上がってきたね。
私たちは幸福かしら、当選かしら、どうなのかしら。それは誰にもわからない。
個人的にはわらわは幸福をのどうせ役目を終えるのならせめて自分が生み出したこのゲーム版はそのままに保存されることを望む。もうこれ以上わらわのゲーム版をラムダデルタ教に好き放題されるのはごめんなのでな。
こちらこそごめんです。あんたとは戦いに来ましたが、ラムダデルタ教のご友人は私の相手の度を超えます。
Secretly, Erica's getting worried by these complicated developments, and she was relieved that she hadn't pushed too hard earlier on. She wanted to flatter Beato and end this with a bloodless takeover. Even the great Lady Lambda probably wouldn't seriously think of picking a fight with the Senate. Her motive was something probably much more trivial, a simple desire to watch a game board's final fireworks from a front row seat. Excuse me. However, if she really did have some of fireworks of her own prepared, it was at least possible that this could turn into a ruckus that Erica would have no chance of quelling. Beatrice saw all this going on in Erica's mind, so she continued to act with an even more pathetic expression on her face. Even among witches, her acting ability was top-notch.
そなたもどうか力を貸してはくれぬか。わらわのゲーム版が美しい姿のまま保存されるように。やはりあの賑やかな御人を客人として招いたのはしと
わかりました。私もことを荒立てずに済むならそうしたいです。で、私はどのような協力をすれば？
わらわたちはさっきから幸福か光線かわらわもそれに戻り幸福を主張し、ラムダデルタ教にこのゲーム版を壊してしまうような大騒ぎはやめてほしいと頼むつもりだ。
それは助かります。で、どうしろと？
わらわたちに議論の時間を保証してほしい。何しろそなたらの船がぐるりと取り囲み威圧しているのだからな。いつ攻撃されるかもわからぬと緊張感に耐えかねて。だからそなたが我らに議論の時間を保証してくれれば一同も冷静になれる時間を取り戻せるだろう。
Erica might see through that because she specifically asked for time.
わらわラムダデルタ教を説得できる十分な時間を得られる。
いいでしょう。時間はいかほど必要です？
できれば気前よく無制限とはいかぬか。期限があれば結局は残り時間が少なくなるとまたみんな破れかぶれになり過激な意見に統一されてしまう。
That was a good rebuttal.
そりゃそうですね。導火線で大事なのは火がついているかいないかです。その議論の前に導火線の長さなどどうでもいいことでしょうから。
ではしばし時間をもらえるか。
わかりました。議論の時間を保証します。ただし無期限ではありません。私はここで皆さんの議論を聞きながら待たせてもらいます。
それがだな、そなたの姿が見えていてはやはり皆緊張してしまって。
私はすでに譲歩をしました。今度はあなたが私に譲歩をする番では。
They were some distance away from the arbor, but it was just close enough to give a general idea of what was going on. It was far enough that they just might be able to hide the fact that Battler and Lambda were missing. Just far enough for them to convincingly act like this was a white-hot argument in gridlock. If it were possible, they would rather have kept Erica an even greater distance. They had planned to set up a seat of honor for their guest at one of the far corners of the garden maze.
何か問題でも？
わかったわかった。そう怖い顔をするでない。ならここでしばらく待つがよい。秘密会議であるからな。そなたはだな、この線よりこちらに来てはならぬぞ。
Pietro drew a line in the ground with her foot.
わらわの顔も立てよ。そなたがこれだけ寛大な配慮をしてくれたことはわらわにとって何よりの武器となるのだ。
椅子もらえます？
わかったわかった。シエスタ隊よ、すぐにエリカ殿にお椅子と傘を、手ぬぐいもな。わらわが自ら拭いてピカピカにしてから差し上げようぞ。
お嬢様、守備はいかがでございましたか？
Oh, it's unzipping the game resources.
私の主演女優賞はわらわで決まりだぞ。
Oh my god, she's so happy.
さすがベアトリーチェ様。
さすが。
僕たちにできることは激論を交わし紛糾し、
さすがアンニャ様、さすがゴテン様。
ことがこじれれば面倒なことになると演出することだけだ。
これもまたバトラたちを援護する戦いである。皆気を引き締めよ。本気で激論し罵倒せよ。よいな。
はい、親方様。
I hate you, Goda. Oh, let me enter the counter because that man just, you know. Sight of Goda, his cheek red and swollen for being pinched. Yeah, you deserve it. Made everyone snort. They quickly covered their mouths and put their fingers to their lips. Then everyone nodded at each other and the fake argument resumed. Oh my god. Erica is sitting in the chair that the Chiester sisters had brought her, filling a goat in on the details of their discussions. The goats would probably return and tell the rest of the fleet. The fleet would tell Burncastle, and Burncastle might think of some plan to deal with the situation or give new orders. The conversation with the goat ended, and it spun around. They would return to the dinghy and report on this to the fleet. It slipped out from a rose bush and passed through a garden maze, heading towards the door that led outside. Is it really okay to let that goat reach the boats? If it goes back, Erica's report will reach Burncastle's ears. The Chester sisters spoke through a secret channel that only they could use.
2秒に音も許さないに。もうじきエリカの認識半径を抜けます。船頭のヤギの認識半径に到達するまでの推定10秒間、暗殺は実行可能です。
ベアトリーチェ卿、暗殺許可を。やれます。エリカに気取らせますよ。
許可しない。軍師が制限時間を切らずに船を出ると思うか。 連絡がなくば決められた時間の後に攻撃を開始せよと。そのヤギを見逃せ。
WO 了解。
What let me see what I'm at. Oh, okay, it's Styriel is ready, so I'll pause here for Umineko.